Alrighty, so Action Comics 1000 dropped a couple months ago. It was the first comic series to ever reach 1000 issues, and it's an 80-page long special that reflects over 80 years of Superman. And the issue is made up of 10 short stories. So what I thought I'd do is I'd rank all 10 short stories from the worst to the best. Now, this was kind of a harder list for me just because each story is literally a couple pages long, but they are each written by a different author, and each of them has a different illustrator. So, yeah, let's get started. At number 10, I think the weakest story is Action Land. Now, this has a cool concept. What if there was an amusement park about Superman? It kind of tells his backstory, like, his planet explodes, he lands on Kent Farm, gets raised by humans. But unfortunately, there's a twist toward the end that kind of ruins it. Now, I'll admit I did not see the twist coming, but I just don't know what the author was trying to say. I don't know if the author was trying to make a point, or make a statement about life, or about Superman, or I don't really know. At number 9 is 5 Minutes. Now, this story, it shows how stressful Superman's life is. He's given 5 minutes to complete a task by Perry White, and so he has to go be reporter Clark Kent and be Superman at the same time. Now, the story is well written, but it's just not memorable. It's definitely the least memorable of the 10 stories. I do like how it shows that even when Superman's stressed, he still makes time to do the right thing, but that's really about it. At number 8 is The Truth, the very last story in the comic, and it's well written, well drawn, and it's entertaining. I like the human characters because, you hear about somebody famous, but when you actually see them with your own eyes, it's a very different experience. Unfortunately, the short is just a setup for Brian Michael Bendis' new series, Man of Steel. And there's some surprising twists, I'll admit, that I really liked, but the story itself just feels incomplete. At number 7 is An Enemy Within. Now, this story starts out okay, but becomes actually really good. I like how it shows Superman's faith in humanity, and I think it's cool that we hear Superman's thoughts, but he doesn't appear until the last panel. At number 6 is Faster Than a Speeding Bullet. Now, this is a very intense, action-packed story, and it shows how good of a person Superman is. The only problem with it is that it's not thematically deep. It doesn't really make a statement about Superman as a character, or about life in general, or anything like that. At number 5 is The Fifth Season. This is a very character-driven story, and it examines the relationship between Superman and Lex Luthor, and I like how Superman will save anyone, even people who try to hurt him. And it shows Superman saving a young Lex Luthor, which I like, and I really like what the story says about both characters. At number 4 is Of Tomorrow. This story is set in an alternate future where humans evacuate Earth and live in space. Clark goes back to an abandoned Earth and visits his parents' grave. This is definitely the most emotional story in the issue. It shows how vulnerable Superman really is, and it explores themes of like letting go and moving on with your life. At number 3 is The Car. Now, I love the way this story ties back into Action Comics number 1. And it has a great message too. It really shows who Superman is. And the art style is a perfect blend of old and new. At number 2 is Never Ending Battle. Now, I like the concept of the story, and I debated putting this at number 1. It's definitely the most Superman-centric story. I really like the references to other comics. I like the storyline of it all. Vandal Savage and Superman kind of travel through time while battling each other and through alternate realities and stuff. The artwork is really good because it kind of changes from panel to panel, the style does. But at number 1, my favorite one is From the City That Has Everything, which is ironically the first story in the issue. It's a great story, great artwork, shows other heroes appreciating Superman. It's the best story because we see Superman doing what he does best, inspiring people. The artwork is great, the script is great, everything about it is great. I love this panel right here because it shows how even anti-heroes like Batman, Superman inspires them. And he inspires all types of heroes, but not just superheroes. He inspires people too, like the police captain. He inspires all of them to do the right thing. So that's my ranking. Tell me your ranking in the comments. I would love to do more comic book rankings. It's just, a lot of them are a lot of reading. I'm thinking about making a Patreon account, and maybe from the funds from that, I could get Marvel Unlimited, which is $10 a month. But, to a college student with a minimum wage job, $10 a month is a lot. So, if I make a Patreon, I'll definitely let you guys know at the end of each video, and would love to do more comic book rankings. So yeah, be sure to subscribe. Bye.